After 7,000 miles of bikepacking around the world on our Salsa Fargo gravel touring bikes, we're making some massive changes. In this video, we're going to discuss the pros and cons of our bikes, what we're changing, and then we're going to test out the new build and let you know our thoughts. And make sure you stay to the end as we'll be announcing our next big bike tour that might just be the longest yet.
Guys, we are going to be biking from... Let's talk about some of the pros and cons we've had with these Salsa Fargos. The big pro is that the frame has had no issues on either of our bikes. They've held up through some really rough terrain we've put it through, and the most problem it's had is just some paint scratches.
The frames are made of steel, which means that they're super durable. They are heavier than like a carbon frame, but they're very durable and they can be easily repaired in even the most remote parts of the world.
Another pro is just we like the relatively upright position you get with the Salsa Fargos. I think it would be really uncomfortable riding long distances, being really leaned forward. For our types of travel, having something that you can kind of look around and stay upright is nice, and so that's definitely a pro. Okay, so some of the cons, and as you'll see, these are the things we're going to be fixing in our updated version. So for both of us, we both feel like we need a wider handlebar. It's just too narrow for us, and we don't have much space on the handlebars to put stuff on. As you see, I already have a bunch of stuff on the handlebars. It gets really crowded. And one other thing about the handlebars is while it keeps us relatively upright, we still are leaning quite a bit of our weight on our hands, and so our hands and arms are like the first things to get sore on our long tours. Another con is just the lack of gear range. So when I'm on flat terrain, I don't have enough power at all to power it. My gear range is, I'll put it here on the screen, it's quite low. And then another con, and this is specific for my bike, is just I have very American parts on mine, which we found when we were cycling from London to Istanbul. When we got to Eastern Europe, it was very hard to replace them. So SRAM is an American brand and it's hard to find parts abroad. And so that has been a challenge.
So the very first thing and the biggest pain point that we're going to address is the handlebars. We did a ton of research on all the various types of handlebars that are out there, and we have decided on the Jones H Loop bar. We read a lot of really good reviews about it for long touring. It's got a little bit of a sweep back, so it kind of puts the hand position closer to your body, so you're sitting a little bit more upright, and it's hopefully going to take some pressure off of our hands. We will have a ton of cockpit space. Basically, since our hands will be out here, this entire area will be for gear and it won't interfere with our hand positioning at all. The biggest con of swapping to the Jones H bar is that it is technically a flat bar, and as you can see, we have drop bars, which means we not only have to change the bar, but we also have to change our shifting, our shift levers and our brake levers as well. So it's kind of like this cascade effect. The next major change that we want to do is our cassettes. As Liz mentioned before, she does not have enough top end range. So in order to address that for Liz, she is going from a 1x11 drivetrain to a 1x12 drivetrain. And that should take her from like 383% gear range up to 508%. I will also be swapping out my cassette. I'm sticking with the 2x10 drivetrain, but I'm getting a cassette with a larger gear, so I have an easier time going uphill. And finally, the last major thing that we're changing is that because we want to have more accessible parts and easier time servicing them when we're in remote areas, Liz is going to switch to mostly Shimano parts. Also, I'm attempting to do all of this myself with a little bit of help from my brother. I guess the question is now, what do I start with?
My first step was to remove all the bags and most of the parts from the bikes. Not gonna lie, this felt so wrong. Got it all cleaned up. Now I gotta remove this whole thing here.
Alright guys, look how naked my bike is. What the heck?
It was so much work to get the crank arm off, but with some help from my brother and his breaker bar and a PVC pipe, we managed to get it off. Now it's time to start attaching the new parts to the bike. It honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it would be thanks to YouTube tutorials and some help from my brother.
I think it's about done. I bled this brake and I just finished bleeding the last brake. I've got the hoses installed. It works.
Wow.
Exciting.
How much more do you feel like you understand bike stuff now that you've literally built it from scratch?
I feel like the only thing I can't do is like truing a tire or truing a wheel. It feels like I can do a lot more than I used to be able to. I could service our bikes almost entirely, I think.
Woohoo! So can I test it out yet?
Yeah, as soon as I put on the back wheel.
Whoop whoop!
Try going into your highest gear.
It's nice though, I like being upright.
Yeah. All right, so the handlebar's been removed. All that's left is the frame, rack, crank, and fork.
It's naked!
I know, it feels very wrong. It feels like I'm destroying my bike. Hopefully I can get it fixed properly. So this took way less time than I expected, but I got it all set up. There was a little issue with the rear derailleur, but I got that working now. So I got to take it for a test ride.
Woohoo!
I can already tell there's way less pressure on my hands. I'm much more upright.
Sweet. So you like the position better?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to see how it fares on a long ride. I think this will be good.
All right, guys, Alex has the bike all set up. Woo woo. And I'm gonna take it out on my first test ride to see how it feels. So far, I do like the height of the handlebars. I think that'll be nice. But we won't know until we properly test it. So I just got done with my first ride with my new setup. And so far, so good. I love having a bigger gear range. That was really nice. The handlebar, I like the position for the most part. I do feel like I'm gonna be like more chill, if that makes sense. Like I don't feel like I feel like it feels kind of like I'm cruising because it's quite high, the bars. So I'm gonna see how that goes. I'm a little nervous about how it's gonna handle on like rough terrain because it feels like it might not have enough balance, but it might just be because I'm not used to it yet. So we'll do some more testing. Guys, so we have been out on these national forest roads for the last little bit near Mount Hood. Just gorgeous. Testing out the new bike setup. Love the handlebars so far. So much less pain on these rides than I have like ever had with my other bike. So I think that has really helped so far. So far, so good with the bike setup. All right, guys, it's been a few weeks since our last update. We've done some more national forest rides, and today we are on a bike path near the Portland, Oregon area, which is where I'm from. And we're on the Springwater Creek Trail, and we're going for about, I don't know, 30 miles, 35 miles, something like that. But yeah, overall, some impressions we've had so far that I'm wanting to kind of work out is I still kind of feel like I'm not used to the non-aggressive stance of the handlebars. So I'm still kind of getting a feel if I like that. Also, I feel like I'm feeling a little bit more saddle pain than I am used to, but I was on gravel in those national parks.
And you have a new saddle.
Yeah, and it's a new saddle. So I'm kind of seeing how I feel about that because we leave in like a week and a half on a really long bike tour. And I'm still not confident that this is the saddle for me.
So I got our handlebar tape on. Made me realize that I needed to move our brake and shifters a little bit further forward to give our hands more space. I still feel like at some point I might want a slightly longer stem because it does feel like my hands are a little too close to my body, but I don't think it's a big deal. I guess we'll see after today.
Guys, we finished the ride. We ended up doing about 30 miles. So some final thoughts on the bike setup. I think I'm feeling overall pretty optimistic about the overall setup. I like the added gear range. Still feel like I could use another top gear, but overall it's much better. The handlebar placement, especially now that Alex adjusted the shifter cable brake thing is really nice, and I feel like I had less saddle pain, so I'm not worried too much about, I guess, the bike configuration. We made some minor adjustments during the ride, which helped. So I'm not sure we're actually gonna be able to do another ride before our trip. Maybe, maybe not. So this might be it.
Before announcing our big bike tour, I just wanted to talk about the sponsor of today's video, Bob and Brad. As we've been preparing for this trip, we've been doing a lot more training than we typically do, including lots of time at the gym, strength training, and lots of day rides as well.
One last training ride, this time with some pack weight.
To help out with their recovery, the team at Bob and Brad sent us the Q2 Ultra Mini Massage Gun that we've been testing out over the past month or so, and this mini massage gun has been really helpful for post-workout recovery and targeting some of our injury-prone areas. We really like the small size of it since we live in a van and it doesn't take up too much space. It comes with several different attachments which can be used to target different muscle groups. We especially love the infrared heat attachment, which helps improve circulation and loosen up some of our tight muscles. We have a discount code for 10% off in the description of this video, so be sure to go check that out. Now back to the video.
All right, now it's time for our trip announcement. Guys, we are going to be biking from Helsinki, Finland down to Athens, Greece.
We think we'll be biking through Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, Romania, Serbia, Bulgaria, North Macedonia, and Greece. I think that's all.
And some people might wonder, what the heck? Like, why did you come up with this route? And really, it just stemmed from us really wanting to see a lot of these countries. They've been on our list for a while, and we've learned that traveling by bike is the best way to see new countries. So we're going to be linking a bunch of new countries that we haven't been to before, a couple that we have been. We're really excited, and we leave in less than a week at the time of filming this. So we're kind of in final preparation modes, wrapping up some work stuff. The current state of affairs at the moment, that's a lot of gear, minus all our clothing, electronics, and toiletries and bikes. Cutlery.
Got it.
Biodegradable soap and mini scrub.
Yep.
Our mini salt shaker.
Yep.
The cutting board.
Yeah.
We literally use our past packing list from all of our long tours to plan our next bike tours packing list. So I'm glad we actually have, or we publish these things online because we use them probably more than anyone else does.
It definitely changes at least a little bit every time.
Alex has been trip planning here away.
I feel like I'm planning in a little bit more detail than I typically do, just because our route in Great Britain was such a disaster.
Okay. So, do you want to just briefly tell them what you've been doing to plan?
How can I do that? I'm essentially breaking down the route into sections between major cities, and then I will go through and try and follow some of the Eurovelo routes, but in cases where the Eurovelo route isn't good, I'll try and find gravel roads. It's a complicated process, and I often find that I have to use multiple apps to get the route planning just right.
So anyways, we love your route recommendations. I feel like always after the fact, we always get lots of recommendations because we always like film the videos, do the adventure, and then we come back and edit. It's been our typical plan. And then we get all these suggestions that we should have done. So now's your guys' time. Give us some ideas of what we should see, what we should eat, what we should do in these countries, any route suggestions if you kind of know of a good area.
Yeah, maybe we'll like input a map here.
Yeah.
So this is the route that we think we're going to take approximately. If you know of anything kind of near this route or something that we would miss that's like even not that far away, then we'd love to hear it because we don't want to miss out on anything good in this area.
Yeah, and surprisingly, this route is just about as long as cycling from London to Istanbul, like we did. So it could even be longer, actually, depending on if we go the most efficient way or the more scenic way. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. We're expecting about 2.5 to 3 months probably on the road.
And then maybe we'll hang out on some Greek islands afterwards too.
Yeah, that's a reward. I wish that we had the capacity to edit videos along the way, our long form videos, but each of those videos take at least 30 hours to edit. So we will not be taking the time to edit those on the road. So there is going to be a gap in long form content on here. We haven't been able to be as consistent as we would have liked this year anyways, so there's going to be another gap, but we will be posting short form content, so make sure you check like the shorts tab here on YouTube. We'll also be cross posting those on Instagram and TikTok. So however you want to consume, we'll have different options.
And I think we're targeting probably somewhere around mid-November for posting the first long form video of this series. So it's going to be a little while. You might not see any long form content on our channel for a few months.
Yeah.
And as always, if you want to support our channel, like, subscribe, and comment. And if you feel like doing a little extra, you can always go check out our Patreon account.
Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you somewhere on the internet soon. Just finished our last official ride before the trip. We're able to fit one more in, just a short one. Feeling pretty good about our new bike setup. I think we'll have a lot less pain, is my guess. I wish we'd had time to do a bike packing trip with the new setup. We were hoping to, but just ran out of time. So hopefully we'll be okay for the long tour. We're excited to leave, just a few more days.